Up today, we're going to install some under cabinet lighting, we're going to hide the power cables, and we're going to connect it to a smart outlet so we can control it from anywhere on the planet. Alexa, turn on the kitchen. Alexa, turn off the kitchen. That's what we're going to do today. Hey everybody, this is Tool Dude Tony. Thank you for joining me today. Alright, our challenge du jour is we have a kitchen with some dark spots here next to the stove. It needs some under cabinet lighting in here. And we could install lighting and basically run the cord down the wall and plug it into the outlet. But how uncool is that? We want to hide the cord so you can't see it. Also, we want to make this kind of hands-free. I'm going to show you how to do that too. Pretty much every house that has one of these over-the-counter ranges, or over-the-stove microwaves rather, has an electrical outlet up above. We're going to tap into that. We're going to use a smart plug to basically allow us to control this from anywhere on the planet. If you can get to the internet, you can control this, or you can just say, hey Alexa, turn on the kitchen. Alexa, turn off the kitchen. We'll be able to do that too with a smart plug.
Asked to show the camera. Try saying show kitchen.
Show kitchen. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Alexa. Psh. Alright, first thing. Got one of these. This is an under cabinet light here. Came with different size cords. LED. This should last a long time. You put this in once and hopefully it lasts while you at least live in the house. Okay, so this one's kind of interesting. So this came with what looks like, it came with the power cord, which you definitely need, but it also came with this short cord, kind of a pigtail here. And so I'm thinking, what is that for? Well, because I never read the instructions, right? Right. So I figured out if you plug this in here, you can kind of connect two of these under cabinet light fixtures together and control it at once. But I've got one on either side. Can't really run this short pigtail underneath the microwave to run them together, so we're just going to run them separate. Okay, so we have a choice here. We got two ends on this cord. We can either drill a big ass hole and run the cord up and plug it in, or we can drill a smaller hole, which is still larger than I want to drill, and then shove it down through everything and then plug it into the light. Now, for this, what we're going to do is we're going to drill some holes up underneath the cabinets. And if you spend $20,000 on a set of cabinets and have them installed and all that stuff, you probably want to get a decent bit. Now in this case, we're going to use, this is called a Forester bit. This is a 3/4 inch bit. 3/4 inch is wide enough to allow us to shove one of these ends of these outlets, or this cord, up through it. So I've covered up my workspace with a towel to kind of minimize where all that sawdust goes. It'll save you a lot of headache. And also, so you don't have to get yelled at about getting sawdust in your dishes, clean out the general vicinity where you're going to be drilling these holes. Alright, so I've decided that I want to drill right about in here, fairly close to the, maybe I'll go down with this one. Get that out of the way. Alright, let us drill down. Now I'm going to drill up. Drilling up looks like it could be easier, so I'm just going to eyeball this right, kind of see that. I can't go all the way in the corner because that would actually drill right up into the edge of the board altogether, and that would not be good. So we're going to drill right about here. I think this should work. Yeah. Well, that wasn't the coolest thing. Okay, that kind of drill really took a lot of upward pressure to do it, and because I was pressing so hard, it still caused me to have a tear out over here. Not cool, but we'll hit that with some touch-up paint, it'll disappear. Right, so now I'm going to drill a hole from this cabinet that contains the dishes into the cabinet that is over the microwave. Now you got a little bit more distance to go, so it's going to take a little more drilling, but same process. Basically you push the drill and drill the hell out of it right until it's done. I guess I can do a close-up if I can figure out how to get the camera up there. Yeah, this may actually work. All right, let's try this. We're gonna drill there. Yeah, you know what? I might just take this shelf out. Now inside the cabinet, I want to go pretty close to this edge here and definitely above that shelf that I just took out to make more space. All right, that's through the first cabinet. Now we got to keep going again. Now, once I feel like I'm getting closer, I'm not going to press so hard. I'm actually applying a lot of pressure here to push this thing. That's it, we're through. And got a certain amount of tear out on the other side. Also not cool. See what I mean about the dust that this stuff makes? You know, made a nice pile. Probably some up on top too. So I'm gonna clean all that stuff up with a vacuum cleaner next. Okay, so if you've got it, this would be the time to do some touch-up. I just happen to have the exact same color. I'm going to touch up these spots that are, just want to make it look pretty in there. Okay, before we go to all the trouble of mounting this thing, we really should test it, make sure it works. Hey man, this junk all comes from China and God knows if it ever works or not. So I just went ahead and plugged it in down here, regular outlet. I'm going to use the cord switch to turn it on. Okay, it turns on, it has this high-low switch. Okay, it works. This part is good. Let's unplug it. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the power cord from the light itself. Just push this little clip and it will let you unplug it. Okay, now we need to do some cord minor surgery. Now that we know everything works, we need to take this cord switch off of the cord. It's actually too big to fit in that hole that we just drilled. We sure don't want to drill a hole big enough to fit this, so this is really an easy operation. Need a smaller Phillips screwdriver than this one. This one's fairly big. So we're just going to unscrew this, take the little switch off. After we run the cord through the holes we just created, we'll put it back on again. Alright, so simple, just unscrew. You can kind of see how this thing is designed here. The cord is connected on one side and split on the other side. Okay, so take a picture of this, do something, take a good visual memory of it. It's kind of no big deal, and it's going to be hard to mess it up, but it's worth taking a look. All right, now that you've taken a look, go ahead and pull the cord out of this thing. Pull it out of the little box here. All right, now we can run this whole thing through those holes we just made. We'll start over the microwave, run it through the hole, poke it through. We'll plug that in later. Here's the cord running down the side of this thing. Poke it through the hole we made down here, just right about there, and we're through. Now for this particular installation, I decided that I really want that cord switch inside the cabinet here, and then we'll just plug this straight into the bottom of the to the end of the light fixture. Okay, so I got to put this little switch back on here. So, alright, so we're going to put the cord back into this switch. So basically just push it back in. It's hard to mess it up because you've got these little tabs that help you guide the cord where it needs to go. So I've got basically the cutoff end banging against this middle piece and the part that's not cut running across the bottom, or it could be the top depending upon how you've oriented it. Now I'm going to take this switch and I'm going to put this switch in. It has little pins on it. Kind of see them here. They'll fit in with these little holes, and it doesn't really matter which way it goes. Up or down, doesn't matter. Alright, so let's put the screw back in. Okay, now we're going to test this, okay? Came out, no big deal. Okay, so this cord is designed to only go in the end with the switch in it. So let's go ahead and line this, plug it in. And it works. All right. And high-low still works. So we are good to go. Okay. Now we know it works. It's time to mount it. I'm just going to go ahead and put it back up in here. Okay, so this light kit came with some mounting tools. This is basically some sticky tape to allow us to do some cable management. These two screws are the ones that should hold the fixture itself up against the bottom of the cabinet. At each end of the light fixture is a place for that screw to go. So this is the end without the switch. This is the end with the switch. We'll put a screw in each of those holes. So next I'm going to go ahead and put this back up underneath there and then put the screws in. So this is about where we want it. I'm just holding it in place with my hand. I'm going to put the screw in the hole. Where's the hole? There it is. And then just I'll get that same little screwdriver that I used before to take the switch apart. Put the screw in. So this is going to probably take some pressure to get started here because this cabinet material is pretty hard. They use cheap MDF in the middle, but the outside coating of this stuff is pretty hard. And they use a kind of a masonite, which is a manufactured board for the ends and the pieces that would be taking some abuse. That's it. It's in. It's tight. That thing's kind of up. Let's do the other end. All right, you can kind of see this end a little bit better here. It's going to put that screw right up in the middle of that hole. Press firmly from below and just screw it in place. You may need to drill a pilot hole depending upon what's going on. If you do drill a pilot hole, do not go too deep. You don't want to drill a hole all the way through inside your cabinet. Alright, that's it, it's in. Now, the thing that's going to make this thing pop and make it be voice actuated or remotely controlled, like if you're at work or something and you want to turn it on or turn it off or even just check and see if it's turned on or off, you can use like a smart plug. Welcome to the world of the Internet of Things, IoT, Internet of Things. That's what this is. This is a particular Amazon smart plug. Comes with instructions on how you get it connected to your network and how you control it with your phone, your smartphone, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to show that part, but this is what I'm using, and there's other brands you can use too. So the first thing I would do is get this thing set up before you put it in over your microwave. Plug it into another outlet that's easy to get to, get it all set up, get it working, know that you can turn stuff on and off with it, and then we'll plug it in over the microwave. Alright, so we're back in over the top of the microwave. This is the cord for the microwave. I'll plug it back in here when we're done. I went ahead and got a tri-plug. This is like a three-way adapter kind of a plug. You can get these anywhere for Walmart or Harbor Freight or someplace for $2 or $3. They're pretty cheap. It's going to allow me to plug two outlets, maybe three if I really wanted to, into this Alexa thing and then control both of those at the same time. So here's the Alexa. Let's see if the light comes on. It's red, means it's not doing anything. Oh, light just went out. That means it's ready to go. Okay. All right, I'm going to plug these things in. And then I'm going to test it with my Alexa app. And then I'm going to rename this thing so that this smart plug is called Kitchen or something like that. And it should work. So I'm going to go ahead and plug my microwave back in. That's it. That's it. Electrical part should be done. Okay, so for this to work, you need to make sure that the switch is turned on, and you can't really tell, but it was off, so I went ahead and rotated this, so theoretically it should be on when I tell Alexa to turn it back on again. If not, just come back over here and rotate this to get it to turn on. Yeah, I've got one installed on the other side here too. It did basically the same process, so now I've got two lights, one on either side of the range or stove, and should be good to go. Let's try this. Okay, so I think I got everything plugged in right, and all I did was plug it in. The Alexa thing recognized the plug right away. I don't see it on my phone, but I will keep looking to figure out where it is so I can rename it. I really want to call this something other than what Alexa's default is. This says to use your smart plug with Amazon, with Alexa. It says, Alexa, just say, Alexa, turn on your first plug. It worked. Alexa, turn off the first plug. Bam, it worked. Well, now we have under cabinet lighting on both sides of the stove. Seems to be working just fine. If I want to have a brighter light, I can go to the switch itself, push the little toggle switch, turn it to brighter. I'm just going to leave it on low. It's plenty bright with the low setting. Same thing over here. Where's the switch? That switch is right here. Same thing on the inside. Turn it off, high, low. Can't control that with Alexa. That's all done with the switch. So I'm going to put them both on low, leave it there, and off we go. Let's just do it. Well, hey, that's it. It's in, it's working. I still need to do some cable management stuff and clean up my mess, but other than that, it's done. It's functional. It's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm really looking forward to using this. And remember, if you're not fixing it yourself, you're paying somebody else to fix it, so get out there and go fix something. Hey, if you like this, press that like button, and you know what to do, right? I don't have to tell you. All right, Tool Dude, out of here. Thanks again. Bye-bye. And the end.